coming off of games. All right, you guys took a little break, and then like around '93, you guys went and worked on the Face the Music album, which I believe was your guys' best album.
Definitely.
I mean, you guys had Teddy Riley and big name R&B producers, and basically, I just felt like it's an underrated album. It was just the wrong climate when it came out.
Absolutely, the wrong climate. We took too long to record it. It took 2 years to record it. When you're riding the pop wave, you gotta ride it and keep feeding people, or the wave crashes and it's over. And that's what happened with us. We took too long to record that last album, and we missed that last bit of the wave.
Right.
And it definitely became a different climate with grunge, and people always say grunge, but it was also hip hop too. Hip hop started really, taking off, and a lot of those guys in the '90s, now created what you see in hip hop, which is the superstars are in hip hop. There's not really hardly any pop superstars. There's more hip hop superstars than pop superstars. So it's like you might have your Justin Timberlake, but you got, 10 hip hop superstars you could name that are huge. So it's like the climate changed, and it was the wrong time, and that was the end of the group.
Right. Like I said, I felt like it was an underrated album. Some of my favorite cuts off of that album were "Girls," which was produced by Teddy. You Got the Flavor, which I'm surprised that Coca-Cola or soda company didn't pick that song up and use it as the tagline, like "Coke's got the flavor."
I'm sure they would have. If it would have been a few years earlier, they would have picked it up.
Right.
But it's all about that wave, man, and we were up against it. We had our own record company not believing in us anymore. I mean, they released, about a year before that album came out, they released a single called "If You Go Away," which was a song that I heard in Donnie Einer's office and said, it was just me in there, and I said, we got to record this. And they released it without a video just to see if we still had it, and the song went top 10. With no video, no promotion, no nothing. But we just didn't complete the album fast enough. And there were internal things within the company, and I really felt like they were done with us. You know what I mean? Like, it was getting too hard to fight through all the backlash. And I really felt like they were like, look, let's move on to something else.
Right. Was the backlash the reason for you guys shortening the name to NKOTB?
I think the reason for that came from the record company, and we were cool with it. And I think it was trying to, because New Kids on the Block, it was trying to like make it a more mature thing. And to me, it didn't matter. We are what we are. We can change the name to whatever you want, but people are still going to call us New Kids on the Block. So
right.
It didn't really make any difference.
Okay, now explain the period where Face the Music is done and it's back to ground zero, being normal, quote-unquote normal.
Well, for me, the transition wasn't that hard because I had a son, and I was a single dad, and I was, kind of content with just, really raising him and, doing my production work and trying to move on to that. It was a little frustrating. In the end, we could have done like a last tour and, went and gave the fans that last chance to see us. And that will always kind of stick with me that we didn't do that because there's still fans out there now still wanting us to get back together and do it. And at least we could have gave them that farewell tour, and we never did, and we still haven't done anything all together as a unit. And that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, because I know everybody's basically been doing well after New Kids. Joey, of course, doing music along with Jordan. Donnie has followed the footsteps of his brother Mark, who went by Marky Mark at one point in time. Kids don't ask him about that in the interview because he may get upset about that.
Right.
And you doing your thing, and John is up there doing real estate. Now, I noticed that in the E-Trollo story, John was saying how back in the day he used to have stage fright.
He never had no stage fright.
He never had no...
All the years I toured with him, I never witnessed him having any more nervousness than any one of us. And when you get to the point when you're doing big shows and the people are there to see you, you get more excited to get up on stage. And there's not no pressure because everyone's there paid to see you. So I never witnessed any of that. That's all I can really say. I never witnessed any stage fright. Stage fright is like you got to be dragged out there and put on stage. You know what I mean? And I never witnessed any of that.
Okay, what was your most memorable show with the group?
We did a show in Chile, and it was for Amnesty International, and we did it in a stadium where they had tortured and killed, thousands of people. And there was over 100,000 kids there singing every word to all our songs, and they had no way to buy our records. Our records weren't even for sale in that country. And it was just one of the most amazing things, especially before, the internet craze and everything, where you could be in another country and hear any music you want to. For me, that was the most amazing experience.
And by you guys being good role models, you're also telling kids stay away from drugs, stay in school, and you guys did a lot of charity work. You donated a lot of money and did telethons for United Cerebral Palsy.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a really great experience. That was even from before we were having success. We were doing the telethons and, just really a lot of things that I'm proud of was like a lot of the things like that and the charity work we did and the people we touched like that.
Okay. Now, I want to set the record straight on this question. Maurice wasn't really like a Swangali. He wasn't telling you guys what to wear, how to sing, and all of that stuff that normally most creators of groups like that do. No.
I mean, basically, he was the in-studio guy. He was in the studio, and in the studio, then it was still a collaboration. I mean, obviously, he wrote the songs, but it wasn't like he was like, look, you do it my way or nothing. We had started with Maurice, and it was like a family. And with our shows, we did what we wanted to do. We wore what we wanted to wear. There were certain incidents where the record company would get involved in, for album covers or whatever. But for the most part, nah. I mean, there was no one really, dictating what we did on an everyday basis.
Right. And my first experience of the New Kids phenomenon, it was back when I was 5 years old. I know I'm revealing my age by saying this, but I remember the cartoon that you guys had out, and they were saying how you guys had to record your voices so that the people portraying you guys on the cartoon could get your Boston accents.
Yeah, they didn't do too good a job. I mean, Boston accent is not the easiest accent to duplicate. But, the cartoon was just one season. It's, like a fun thing. It's, I'm glad we did it because I have it. My kids could look at it and hey, my dad had a cartoon at one time.
Right.
But, other than that, it really wasn't like the best part of being in the group.
Right. Yeah, and I know outside of the group, you guys were very big Boston sports fans. Celtics, Sox, I know you guys were rejoicing during that period when Bird was beating Magic in the NBA Finals and all of that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I still hate the Lakers.
Hey, who doesn't?
I hate the Yankees. I hate the Lakers. I hate the New York Jets. I live in Miami. I hate the Dolphins. I mean, I'm a Patriot. Anything Boston, we believe it.
Yeah, because I know you guys were rejoicing when the Sox finally won that World Series.
Rejoicing? They're grown men in tears. That was me.
Wow.
I was with one of my best friends who was a New York Mets fan in 1986. There's a lot of history with
Buckner.
Yeah, Bill Buckner, the Red Sox lost to the Mets, and he was happy for me. He was really happy for me, and there was some tears.